What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is that time of the week again. Yes, it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday with Turbo, and this one's actually on Tuesday, so even better. Even though the the train driver doesn't really want me to put this out, but to be honest with you, this isn't a secret. This isn't a secret. This is something as a homeowner, some of us look forward to it, some of us do not. But today we're going to be talking about spring cleaning, home maintenance, what to do in order to kind of avoid big home insurance claims, because as we know, home insurance is getting more expensive by the day. So what can you do to help prevent large claims, which in essence is going to further raise your insurance premium? For those of you that do not know, my name is Ryan Turbo Jackson. I am your insurance resource, and in videos like this, I like to break down, well, today we're not really breaking down coverages or anything, but these are tips and tricks from someone that's been in the insurance industry over a decade to try to help you not only keep your home in tip-top shape, but to help prevent large claims that could not only be expensive, but require you and your family to be relocated while the repairs are to be done, or simply just just can't be claimed. So let's get into it. And before we get into this, let me know what's the worst mess or disaster or situation that you've encountered while doing your spring cleanup. Go ahead and drop it in the comments for me. Well, today, like I said, we're going to be talking about like I said, some say dreaded, spring cleaning, or some of us actually look forward to it. I'm kind of one of those weirdos that kind of look forward to it because spring cleaning means the winter is done. Well, kind of. I mean, last weekend it was 74 degrees one day and snowing the next day, but that's Michigan. What do you expect? But it looks like the weather, even though we are supposed to be getting snow later this week, for the most part, it has kind of broken. So in between the flurries, here's some things you might want to take a look at in order to help prepare you for the winter season. Now, these aren't specifically cleaning things like, moving out your dresser or moving your bed, cleaning out from under that. That's all well and good, but insurance really doesn't help cover how clean your house is. Let's be honest. But some of these are essential to help prepare you for not only spring and the rainy season, but even, these are actually things that should be done a couple times a year. So a lot of these, if you follow, might actually be on the fall cleanup list. So keep an eye out for that as we go through the year. But let's start with number one. This one seems very, very self-explanatory. Clean your gutters. Get rid of all the leaves, the twigs, everything that's accumulated over the winter. I'm pretty sure when we did the fall checklist, clean out your gutters because that's when the leaves are done falling. But as we know, not all of them fall at the same time. So over the winter, there probably will be some additional leaves, gunk, twigs. And when the spring rain comes, we want to make sure that all of that water is flowing the way it should. And if you have a house like mine that has French drains, make sure you're cleaning those out as well, because those tend to back up too. And this is something that I know a lot of folks don't like ladders. Me, I'm that person. But there's some folks that just physically can't get up on a ladder and do it. My best advice to you is to get on Facebook Marketplace and see if one of the local kids will come over and do it. Not only are you helping them with a little bit of pocket money, but it helps you as well in order to maintain. Because if you remember last summer, we had that huge rain, and a lot of basements got flooded. So this is the easiest way to make sure that your basement is as dry as possible. And take into consideration too, some policies cover water damage, but only sudden and accidental, not lack of maintenance. And you're going to see that lack of maintenance thing kind of be a reoccurring theme here. Number two, clean your dryer vents. I mean, this again seems rather simple and easy, but what I'm talking about is not just the trap in the dryer. I'm talking about moving your dryer out. Now, the easiest way I do it is I take the vent hose off and then just take a leaf blower. We've got an electric leaf blower, shove it in there, blows everything out the outside. It's quick, it's easy, and very, and if you do it that way, there's not lint flying everywhere. And on top of that, they now sell like attachments that go into your drill, where there's a brush on the end and it goes through the vent pipe and cleans it all out. And then they take it a step further and there's these little attachments for your vacuum where you can attach it to the end of the vacuum, and you can get inside the lint trap. So kind of clean it out as much as possible. And not only is it you're getting rid of a fire hazard, but you're also making it easier for your dryer. Your electric bill is going to go down, and your dryer is going to work more efficiently, meaning it's going to last longer. So it's a win all the way around. And again, if this is something that you don't feel comfortable with or you are unable to do, again, there are people around the area that I'm sure will come help, whether it's a loved one or someone you have to, give a little bit of money. Or I've also seen people that their vent hose is disposable and they change it out twice a year because they don't have to worry about cleaning it out. Either way, it's just something that you kind of need to get ingrained into your normal seasonal routine. Again, this is something that I would do not just once a year, but at least twice a year. But something, whenever the seasons change, just go ahead and blow that guy out to make sure that everything's working properly. And on top of that, like I said, you're going to be saving money on your electric bill and everything else. And as we know, electric bills are pretty expensive these days. Number 3, we're going to check for leaks. Look under your sinks. Another big one is if you watch my winterizing video, we talked about turning off the water to exterior spigots. This is a prime time when you turn that water back on to check to see if there's any leaks there. Leaks can be, like it says here, gradual leaks are covered. Gradual leaks are not covered, so catch them early, because if you catch them early, squash the reason for the leak instead of trying to repair what the leak has destroyed. You're talking about, maybe $10, $20 to fix the problem now, as opposed to thousands of dollars in water damage. So again, like I said, this is a really, especially for those exterior spigots, a perfect time to turn the water on, let it run a little bit, turn it off, check for leaks. And again, if there are leaks, I would get a hold of a plumber and see if they can't come help you if you're not able to repair it yourself, or have a family member or a friend that can repair it. The next one on our list is we're going to test smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Again, this again seems rather monotonous. This is something we all should do, but I guarantee a lot of us, like myself, really only think about the smoke alarm when I'm frying something in the kitchen, or that stupid beep when the battery's low. So we don't want to be caught up in that. All right, well, is it good? Is it not good? Just go ahead and change the batteries twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. That way everything is tip-top shape. And again, carbon monoxides are huge too. Something that a lot of folks don't think about. Nowadays, they're relatively inexpensive. And like it says here, check with your agent, because some companies do give discounts for carbon monoxide detectors and ample smoke alarms. So keep that in mind. Just a lot of times, they have the test and you can just push the button and it tests it. I've always been in the camp where just change the batteries twice a year. Just change them twice a year. That way it's out of sight, out of mind, and you don't have to worry about it. And lastly, here we're going to get into just walk around your house, do a general maintenance checkup. Again, home insurance is not for maintenance. While you're up checking the gutters and cleaning the gutters, do a quick check on your roof. Are there any cupping shingles? Are there any missing shingles? Is there anything that needs to be repaired around vents? These are all things, again, being a little bit of proactive to help avoid a huge loss, potential loss. Because like I said, if something happens due to lack of maintenance, that's not covered on your insurance policy. Your home policy is not a maintenance policy. It is not a maintenance policy. It is for big things, weather-related things, fire, theft, that type of thing. Not because your gutters are overgrown and there's things growing out of them, which is not letting the water drain the way it should. That's why there's water in your basement. That's not what home insurance is for. That's routine maintenance. So again, if you're physically not able to do these things, there are plenty of people around for, I guarantee, a very reasonable amount that will take care of these things for you. One other thing that I did want to touch on when we're talking about this home maintenance is when I was working for the other agency, I was involved with the United Way, and they used to do a rake a difference once a year. And for the elderly, you would put in a request to, have your leaves raked. You could have them bagged depending on where you live, just blown or raked out to the street, and then the village or township would come by and clean them up. And they also had they would have someone come and clean your gutters if you wish. So if that's something that, and this was totally free, but then again, that would be something you'd have to get in contact with the United Way about. And the United Way there is a chapter that does service Marcellus, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that's another outlet. Again, that'd be more for the fall. But if this is something that if you paid to have it done in the spring and the money's not there in the fall, just another outlet to help kind of ease that financial burden. And like I said, there's this little town is completely awesome when it helps when it comes to helping people, elderly people in particular. I did see that the school is doing their raking event again, post COVID, which is completely awesome. But if you do need an extra little bit of help, like I said, get on Facebook Marketplace. I would, and if you're not on Facebook, then I'm not sure how you're watching this, but if it just so happens that you're not, I guarantee there's someone, either a friend or family member, that could post it for you. There's always, some youngster around that's looking to make some extra money. We were all once there, so kind of help pass that torch a little bit. And like I said, overall, this is a very giving community. So don't be afraid to ask for help, because like I said, with the just astronomical increases in cost when it comes to your home insurance, the last thing we want to do is put in a claim where, if we could have done something to prevent that, it just makes sense, because once we make that claim, your claims-free discount is removed, and that's just a further increase. So you kind of see what I'm getting at. It's kind of like a perpetual thing. Now, if there is a knock on wood, a storm come through and your roof if it takes the whole roof off, your roof needs to be repaired, that's a major expense. That is what insurance is for. So don't be hesitant to make claims like that. It's the little ticky-tack things that ultimately add up. And if you make enough of these little claims throughout the year, then the company might non-renew you, or in some cases they'll force you to raise your deductible. Which leads me to kind of a teaser for next week's video. We're going to be talking about home insurance deductibles, and I don't want to give it away, but this is kind of a controversial thing in the client community. On the agency side, I get where you're coming from, but like I said, we'll talk about that next week. Just want to put out a little feeler there, a little teaser, if you will. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our home spring maintenance checklist. Again, like I said, there's probably a million others out there, but let me know which ones I missed. Which ones did I miss? Which ones are, I guess you could say, your favorite? There's certain things in life that are just satisfying, and let me know if, like, cleaning gutters or anything like that is you find satisfying. I personally don't mind doing any of these things, and it's one of those I take pride in my home and in my yard, and my wife does a fantastic job making it look pretty with flowers and everything else, which I, as a man, not my thing. But she does a very good job at that. So we kind of work hand in hand to make sure that we own something that we're proud of, and that's ultimately what you should do with your home as well. So I'm going to leave everyone with that. Get out and enjoy the weather. It's supposed to be nice the next couple days before we get the SNOW word. So get out and enjoy it. Like I said, let me know if there's anything I missed, and I will see you next week.